Hello friends, my name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to day 10 of the 12 Days of Stitchmas. Happy stitching friends, happy knitting, happy making, happy quilting, happy Wednesday to you. I hope you're having a great day. Let's just dive into the day 10 fun. Today I have a little bit of WIP progress update to show you what I'm going to be working on, what I worked on last night, which was some stitching. Now I did work on my Azucena sweater. We're real close. Hopefully tomorrow I'm going to have a pretty substantial update for you on that one. So we'll just save that for tomorrow. But today I have it in my 2025 keeper, but I don't want to show it in case you don't know. I worked on, this was a new Stitchmiss start from earlier in Stitchmiss, Kringle and Woolard. I love a good fill-in project. This Plum Street vintage from 2016. It is so fun. I did it's not a floss conversion. I did a pull from stash. That's what we'll call it. I did a floss pull from stash using just the cover photos as the inspiration of my pull. I mean, it's Christmas. It's reds and grays and blacks and such and so forth. So I didn't bring my design board. Hold on. I don't want to ruin the fun of my Advent in case you haven't seen it. So I don't want to put it on that. But here we are, friends. So I gave him some good work last night. Worked on outlining and getting this sweet little sheep. Look at those quilty stars in the sheep. How adorable is that? Getting this sheep ready for fill-in. So again, this project's going to be fill-in ready sometime soon. Sorry for the crinkle, but I am loving him so far. I'm hoping just to continue to get him outlined and then be able to take him down with me when I head down to Clemson, because doing a good fill-in project is what I love to do when I'm traveling. Really, let's be honest, I love a good fill-in any day of the week. So, but that is the cross stitch I worked on. And then, like I said, I worked on my Azucena Christmas sweater. Cross your fingers, send a little happy juju up for me. I am hopeful, again, tomorrow that we will have an update on that. But what I did do that I want to share with you here, a fun little time lapse. If you didn't know, in my Patreon in October, we did a Churn dash quilt along. It was so much fun. I think I feel like I've got some good feedback. A lot of new quilters got the quilty bug, have finished quilts. I know Lori from Island Time Quilting had tons of Churn dash quilts on her long arm machine. She offered a discount to people that participated in the quilt along to have their Churn dash quilted long armed by her. I know so many friends who have sent and actually received their quilts back and can snuggle under them for Christmas. So much fun. Well, my mom, she's not a quilter. She wasn't a quilter. Let me rephrase. She wasn't a quilter. She's a garment sewer, a beautiful garment sewer, made so many beautiful garments for my kids when they were little, of course, costumes. And these aren't just like run-of-the-mill costumes. These are super elaborate costumes and princess dresses, so many princess dresses for Lily. So many beautiful, beautiful dresses and little jumpers and christening gowns and all the things. Anyway, garments, sewing, garments. She crushes that. That's one area I haven't. Maybe we'll have to trade in 2026. She can teach me how to garment, because I didn't teach her how to quilt. I mean, per se, like in person, I didn't teach her how to quilt. She just followed along with my Churn dash quilt along instructions, which was a series of videos that was on Patreon. Anyway, so she was able to fabric shop from my stash and found a fat quarter bundle. It was the Glisten Fun Christmas bundle from Sandy Gervais. I will link it down below. But it was a gorgeous Christmas fun, traditional greens and reds, and then of pinks, so you got to throw in some pinks for the traditional fun. And so the only thing I did is I did cut her fabric, because I have I'm set up really well for cutting for quilts, and so the cutting part was just, so I gave everything to her on Lori Holt design boards. It was just pre-cut, and all she had to do all the matching, do all the sewing, all the things. She sewed everything together, and the quilt top was done. And then it sat until I could head over to her house and do a little, as you know, I have a long arm. It lives at my mom's house right now. And so I went over there one day recently and prepared her quilt, as well as did the long arming. So here's a little fun time lapse of that activity. Isn't that so fun? I totally spaced on getting a picture of the finished product. So I will have to do that. What she did put on the back of hers is it was just full glisten lined. She was going to do like a minky or a soft cuddle, but we couldn't find one that we were happy with. So she went ahead and I had a bolt of the pink ornament glisten from the line. And so we ended up putting that on the back. I will grab that quilt from her next time I see her and bring it over and show it on a floss tube, an upcoming floss tube, in case you want to see this full thing. But the great thing is, my mom is now a quilter. How exciting is that? Like I said, she has experience with the sewing machine, so it wasn't totally new, but quilting is totally different than garment sewing. So yay, Mom is crushing the quilts. I'm super excited. I've already got my wheels turning for a quilt along with Tiger Lily in Patreon again sometime in the first quarter of 2026. So if you have ever wanted to learn how to quilt and be given step-by-step instructional videos from cutting to fully finishing, come on and join my Patreon. Again, in 2026, in the first quarter, I'm almost ready to announce the quilt along. I did this time want to go ahead and sew the full quilt so I could show it to you. So hopefully that's gonna get done soon and we can take a look at it and get excited and quilt along again in 2026. I had so much fun and I know you guys did too. So without further ado, that is what I have for you today. So I almost forgot. The giveaway for today. I'm not going to open the advents yet until I tell you guys the giveaway. Today's giveaway, as you know, I'm doing giveaways every day during the 12 days of Stitchmas. Today we have the number 10 bag. I feel like it's definitely charts. It's a cross stitch bundle chart from Fat Quarter Shop. What it is it's a collection, not the complete collection, but quite a portion of it, of the super sweet stitch cards from Bee in My Bonnet, Lori Holt. Now, if you don't know, Lori Holt did these stitch cards A through Z, and what we have here is T through Z. So what is that, like 7 cards? Let's take a look. So we've got set 10, which is very Eastery themed. We have set U, which is quilt blocks, so sweet. Set V. We're going to have set W. set X, set Y, and set Z. So these are all super, super sweet and fun. And I feel like there's something else in this bag. There is. What I also threw in here is one of these needle case goodies from Fat Quarter Shop. It's a magnetic needle case. It's one of my favorite things to do. We talked about it. I think I threw one in one of the earlier days, as well as a fun blingy needle minder. And this is from Jeannie's Gem Minders. I believe this is an Etsy shop that I featured a couple of years ago in Stitchmiss. I will link it down below if they're available. I'm gonna guess, is she finds enamel pins like one of a kind, because her needle minders are definitely very one of a kindy. And you can tell this one's got bling and pearls for the wheels. How fun is that? So it's a fun little, I'm thinking enamel pin / brooch maybe, that's been upcycled into a needle minder. She's super fun to follow. Like I said, I will link her down below. So that is going to be the day 10 giveaway. What you're going to use is pearl, because there were pearls on those wheels. You're going to use the word pearl in your comment down below. So remember, to be entered into today's giveaway, you need to use the word of the day in your comment down below on today's video. You also need to be a subscriber to the channel, as well as like the video. So that is what you need to do to enter in today's giveaway. So friends, if you don't want to be spoiled for your advents, now is your time to exit the ride. I will see you tomorrow. We've got 2 more days. But if you do want to see the fun advents, we're going to go ahead and open the 4 advents I've got. So friends, as I love to do, we're going to start with the Tiger Lily Advent. Today's in the white canvas bag, the number 10 pink tree card, and we're going to open it up. It is squishy. It's got a little flavor to it. Any guesses? It's flat. Okay, ready? This is today's goodie is Chili Velveteen from Lady Creates. Did you guess it? Did you guess it was coming? So if you've been around for the 12 Days of Stitchmas, you know we've opened lots of different things. Keepers and floss and charts and goodies and blings and stuff. Now, if you remember, back on day 3 was my original design for this drum, Merry and Bright. And you can see it says Merry, and it's got the trees and the gingerbreads and the aqua house and then the bright. But then if you finish it as a drum, did you notice there's gorgeous velvet on the top of the drum? I gave you guys the cards to finish it, but then you know I wasn't going to leave you hanging and not give you the gorgeous Lady Creates velveteen that you need in order to finish this drum. So this was wonderful to work with Lois from Lady. Again, she's a beautiful small business. She is the sweetest little firecracker of a lady. I met her at market for the first time this year, and I was super excited to be able to include her this year in the Advent. So, but what's fun is Jessica Sweetwater, when she opened hers, she's opening the Advent as well. She mentioned, and I love this idea. I hope you do it. I can't wait to see it. Instead of finishing the chart as a drum, she's going to finish it as just a square. Now, it's hard. I can't show it to you that way because I don't have a picture of it that way. You'd think I would have done it, but just a flat finish rather than a drum. And then you can see the words and the gingerbread. It was super fun. So I can't wait to see that. So that is the Tiger Lily Advent. Now, as we do, we're going to dive into my 2 yarn Advents. Now I'm doing the MoonGlow Yarn Co., which is the rainbow that we know. And this one is called Frosty Lime. It is very, very frosty, or frosty. It's barely lime. I would call it barely lime. It is a beautiful, that's the great thing about this rainbow. This rainbow isn't like bright and in your face. It is very muted and subdued. And I think it's going to look gorgeous. Then Jessica is doing a cowl with dark. So it's an intermingle of a main color and then this rainbow, right, for her cowl. But I love that she picked like this beautiful, almost blue-black. It's called Navy something. I think it's from Fiber. Go check her out. But I think this subdued colorway the darker backdrop is really going to make those colors pop. So that's a great idea. I think when I do use this advent for something, I think putting a darker backdrop or a darker color contrast is going to really make those pop. So I'll have to keep that in consideration. And so then I'm also opening the Leap of Faith yarns, and there's the animal. This is the Noah's Ark. This animal, oh, is an elephant. Oh my gosh, you ready? This is a beautiful gray. Like, really? See, that just makes that pop. Now it gives you that frosty lime color. When it was just by itself, it was like, kind of dirty. Not dirty, like split play muted. But here you can see it's green. Elephants. I love elephants. Elephants have a very special, when Noah was little, we took him to the, I live outside of DC, in Mount Vernon, Virginia. At that time, I lived out in Loudoun County. Anyway, outside of DC. So we would go to the National Zoo when the kids were little, like in strollers little. I don't even think Lily was around. If she was little. And so, as kids do, they can't really say all the words. So an elephant to my Noah's Ark, which is why I had to get this yarn advent, is because my son's name is Noah. He called elephants Eints. Listen, it's just a funny little thing. As a mom memory, I just thought it'd be fun. Oh, Eints, so fun. And then, okay, you ready? Story time, Noah's story time. So Noah moved into an apartment at Clemson. He was on campus the first year, and then he moved off campus the second year into a place that he was going to live in for the rest of his college career. And so he moved in. Long story short, if you weren't around, that would have been, I think I brought you along 4 or 5 years ago when I did that here on YouTube. But if you didn't, Noah and I ended up having to paint every surface in that apartment. It was disgusting, as college apartments are. But the color we picked was elephant skin. I think it was this elephant. It's a grayish, right? It was a grayy color. And the word elephant tusk, it was in the name of the paint. Which is really weird and totally random, not Stitchmiss related at all. But elephants, because of those two stories, the elephants are special to me. Anyway, super fun. Okay, back to the advents, friends. Okay, last but not least is the Stitchery advent. Here we are on day 10. I don't want to ruin it for you, friends, but if you've been around, you know that we've been opening up these gorgeous, like every, 2 or 3 days. We get another stitch. I feel pretty confident this is another stitch. I can't believe it. This is the one advent I want to just go ahead and open all of them. If I was not opening this live with you guys on Stitchmiss, I would have opened all 24 gifts probably on day 2 because this is fabulous. Spoiler, I will be, after the 12 days of Stitchmiss, I will be opening days 13 through 25. Maybe I'll just do it all in one sitting. And do you want to see it? Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to film that 13 through 25, because that's how I'm going to do it. That's what happens. It's my advent. I can do what I want to. And really, I love it, and I can't wait. This is definitely, I'm going to take this with me down to Clemson, because stitching on these, I was so hooked when I finished that reindeer. I have not fully finished it. I did measure it. It's going to fit perfectly on a, you can see, I gave you guys 3.5-inch chipboards for the drum. I have a few extra, and so it fits perfectly for that reindeer finish for a 3.5-inch chipboard for me to do my needlepoint inspired like this, right? Inspired smush. And then I haven't decided whether I'm going to do cording or beading and cording. But step 1 was to make sure that it would fit, all the entire design would fit within a 3.5-inch circle, and it does, so that's exciting. Back to the advent. You can tell I'm swirling a little bit this morning. Okay, this one's gonna be good. Look at the pink. Okay, this is the floss. As again, it's got gold, so there's gold and pink and grays and muted and blues. A lot of the same colors that were actually in. All right, ready? Let's see, can I open it for you guys? Aw, that's so sweet. It's like the kids nestled in bed with the stocking. Let's see, let's look at the picture. Oh, that is so sweet. Silent Night. I need to go back and figure out that fabric, because in the beginning on day one, there was like this fabric with words and stuff. I don't know if maybe we're supposed to, she doesn't show it finished that way, whether there's words for, let's say, Silent Night. Are there Silent Night words that are on that? Hold please. Okay, remember, this is the Stitchery box. This is what came in. This is how my Advent came. I'm super bummed that my box got cracked, but that's okay. Things happen. I had to cross the sea. So, but like day one was that beautiful tote bag. And then there was also this. Okay. Yes. So this was the piece of fabric. And now that it took me 10 days to figure this out, friends. Now that it's coming together down here, right here, Silent Night, Holy Night, all is calm, all is bright, sleep in heavenly peace. I wonder if there's one about Rudolph. Santa comes down the chimney. I'll be home from deck the halls. Foggy night, ding dong. Good tidings we bring. Rock around them. I don't see a Rudolph. When Santa got stuck on the chimney, remember we saw that chart. I'll be home for Christmas. Snow and mistletoe. Holly jolly Christmas. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. That's the birds in the deck in the halls. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? So now I have to figure out, I'm going to have to do, how to incorporate this little fun piece of fabric into my finishing, because, so it might not be on a circle anymore, friends. Does that mean we're going to get that many kits? That's 9 kits. Okay, I don't know if that's what, I don't know. I don't know if that's how it's going to work. We shall see. You shall come along with me. So far, we're up to 4 kits. They're 9. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Okay, so happy day 10, friends. There we are. There's the Advents. There's my little Churn Dash story, all the things. I'm going to get busy, maybe get some finishing done, because I would love to have something new to show you tomorrow regarding in the world of finishing. Oh, how am I going to add those Rudolph words to, maybe it just need to be a bigger square. I don't know. We shall see. Stay tuned, friends. So until next time, happy stitching.